They hurt you and now you can't sleep, can't focus, can't move on. Stop! Why let them control your emotions? Why let them live in your mind rent-free? Today I will give you 7 smart ways to handle those who hurt you. Without anger, without revenge, but with power and grace. This will change the way you deal with pain forever. Listen carefully, because the way you respond today will define who you become tomorrow. Pain is something everyone runs from. The moment it touches us, we start questioning. Why me? What did I do to deserve this? But have you ever stopped to ask, what is this pain trying to teach me? Because pain is not a punishment, it is a teacher. One that life assigns to those who are ready to grow, to evolve, to rise beyond what they once were. The most powerful people in this world, the ones you admire, the ones who inspire you, they didn't escape pain. They embraced it, they learned from it, and they transformed because of it. Imagine a blacksmith forging a sword. The raw metal is hammered, burned, shaped under intense heat, and beaten again and again. If the metal had a voice, it would scream in agony, begging for the suffering to stop. But the blacksmith knows, without this process, the metal remains weak, fragile, unworthy of battle. The same is true for you. Life will put you in the fire. It will hammer you with challenges. It will push you to your breaking point. Not because it wants to see you suffer, but because it wants to see you unbreakable. Think about the people who have hurt you the most. The betrayal of a friend, the abandonment of someone you trusted, the cruel words that shattered your confidence. In that moment it felt unfair, it felt like the world was against you. But step back for a second. What did you learn? That not everyone who smiles at you is your friend. That some people love convenience, not commitment. That your peace is not something you should place in the hands of another. That lesson alone is worth every tear, every sleepless night, every moment of doubt. Because now you see the world not as you wish it to be, but as it is. And that wisdom, it will save you from greater destruction in the future. There was once a young woman who loved deeply. She gave everything to a man who promised forever. But one day he walked away without a second thought, leaving her broken. She cried, she questioned, she begged the universe for answers, and for months she saw her pain as a punishment, a curse. But then she realized this pain had given her something valuable. It showed her that she had neglected herself while giving everything to him. It showed her that love should never be one-sided, that she deserved to be chosen, not tolerated. She didn't lose in that relationship. She gained herself. And once she embraced that truth, she rose. Strong, wiser, untouchable. Look at nature. A seed must break to become a tree. A caterpillar must be confined in darkness before it transforms into a butterfly. A diamond is formed only under extreme pressure. Pain is not here to destroy you. It is here to refine you, to carve away the weakness, the illusions, the limitations that have held you back for too long. People often ask, why do bad things happen to good people? But let me ask you, who told you that struggle is bad? Who said pain is the enemy? If you never fell, how would you learn to rise? If you were never tested, how would you know your strength? You were not born to live a life of comfort. You were born to evolve, to transform, to become something greater than you were yesterday. And the only way that happens is through challenge, through hardship, through pain. There was once a farmer who had a horse. One day the horse ran away. His neighbors came and said, "What terrible luck!" The farmer simply replied, "Maybe." A few days later, the horse returned, bringing with it 3 wild horses. The neighbors came again, saying, "What great fortune!" Again the farmer said, "Maybe." Later the farmer's son tried to ride one of the wild horses, but he fell and broke his leg. The neighbors pitied him, saying, "How unfortunate." The farmer still replied, "Maybe." Soon after, war broke out, and all the young men were taken as soldiers, except for the farmer's son because of his broken leg. The neighbors were amazed and said, "What a blessing." And yet again the farmer said, "Maybe." You see, what you call suffering today might be the very thing that saves you tomorrow. What you call unfair now might be the reason you find true happiness later. The people who left you, the opportunities that slipped away, the struggles that made you question everything, one day you will look back and understand why they had to happen. Because pain is never there to punish you. It is there to prepare you. A boxer does not become strong by avoiding punches. A warrior does not become fearless by running from battle. And you will not become who you are meant to be by avoiding hardship. So, when life challenges you, when it shakes you, when it feels like everything is falling apart, stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is this teaching me? Because the moment you change that question, you stop being a victim and start becoming something unstoppable. People will poke you, provoke you, and test you. They will say things just to get a reaction. They will insult you, betray you, leave you wondering how could they. And in that moment, your first instinct will be to fight back, to prove your worth, to demand an explanation. But tell me, what do you gain from engaging with those who enjoy disturbing your peace? Nothing. When you argue with a fool, you become one. When you try to prove yourself to someone who is committed to misunderstanding you, you lose energy, dignity, and self-control. That is why the wisest people do not react, they detach, they walk away. They let the noise fade into silence. Imagine, you are standing in a marketplace and someone throws a stone at you. You could pick it up and throw it back. You could scream at them, demand justice, prove that you are not weak. But what happens when you engage? You lower yourself. You become part of the chaos. Now you are not just an observer, you are in the fight, wasting your energy on someone who does not deserve it. But if you simply step aside, if you let the stone fall where it may, what happens? The battle dies before it even begins. You keep your power, you move on, while they stay trapped in their own bitterness. Look at the lion. A lion does not respond to the barking of dogs. A lion does not waste its breath on insects buzzing around. It moves forward, unbothered, untouchable. That is why it is the king. But most people, the moment someone offends them, they react, they argue, they cry, they try to make people understand their pain. But in doing so, they give their power away. They let the world control their emotions like a puppet on strings. You must cut those strings. There was once a great samurai undefeated in battle. One day an arrogant young warrior challenged him. This young warrior had a reputation for taunting his opponents, provoking them, making them so angry that they lost control and made mistakes. He insulted the samurai, called him names, spat at his feet. But the samurai stood still, unshaken. Hours passed and still he did not react. Eventually the young warrior, exhausted and humiliated, left in defeat. The samurai students asked, "Master, why did you not fight?" He smiled and said, "If someone offers you a gift but you do not accept it, who does it belong to?" Think about that. When people throw insults, hate, negativity at you, they are offering you a gift of anger, a gift of chaos. But if you do not accept it, if you do not respond, then who does that negativity belong to? Them, not you. You remain free, untouched, powerful. The moment you react, you accept their poison into your mind. And poison, once inside, spreads. In your daily life, you will encounter people who want to steal your peace. A toxic friend who thrives on gossip, a jealous coworker who undermines you, a bitter ex who wants to see you broken. The moment you respond, you validate them, you feed their ego. But when you detach, when you refuse to engage, you starve them of what they crave, and they are left powerless. Picture this. You are walking in the rain, and someone splashes mud on you. You have two choices. You can stand there, screaming at them, demanding they clean your clothes, or you can simply keep walking, knowing that the rain will wash it away. What is the smarter choice? In life, the more you stop to fight every battle, the more you delay your journey. The more you entertain negativity, the more it consumes you. Silence is not weakness, it is strategy. The most powerful responses in life are not words, they are actions. A person who betrays you, let them go. A person who disrespects you, walk away. A person who doubts your worth, succeeds so loudly that their doubts become irrelevant. Detachment is not about being cold, it is about being wise. It is knowing where to invest your energy and where to withhold it. People will always test you. They will say cruel things. They will push your buttons just to see you lose control. But the moment you show them you are unaffected, that their words do not shake your peace, you win. Because nothing frustrates a manipulator more than someone who refuses to be manipulated. Nothing annoys an attention seeker more than being ignored. Nothing weakens an enemy more than knowing they have no power over you. A river does not argue with obstacles. It flows around them. A flame does not fight the darkness. It simply shines. The moment you master the art of detachment, you will feel something extraordinary, peace. A peace so deep that no insult can touch it, no betrayal can break it, no storm can shake it. And that peace, that is the greatest power you will ever hold. There comes a moment in life when you look around and realize that the story you are living is not the story you dreamed of. Maybe it's filled with heartbreak, failure, betrayal, or pain that you never asked for. Maybe life threw you into a chapter that you never expected. But let me tell you something. Just because a story started one way doesn't mean it has to end that way. The power to rewrite your story is in your hands. You are not a prisoner of your past. You are the author of your future. Look around. How many people are stuck in the same story, repeating the same mistakes, carrying the same wounds? They believe their circumstances define them. They believe they have no choice but to accept the script life has handed them. But that is a lie. The only thing stopping you from becoming the person you want to be is the belief that you can't change. And the day you stop believing that lie is the day your new story begins. There was a woman who was told all her life that she was not good enough, not beautiful enough, not smart enough. She carried these words like chains around her soul, living in the shadows of her own potential. One day she stood in front of a mirror, tired of the reflection that spoke only of doubt and fear. And she made a decision. She said, "Enough. I am not what they told me I am. I am what I decide to become." That day, she rewrote her story. That day, she stopped being the victim and became the hero. And you can do the same. Most people live their lives as if they are characters in someone else's book. They follow the rules set by society, their family, their past. They wait for permission to change. But listen to me, you do not need permission. The world will not hand you a new life on a silver platter. If you want change, you must create it. If you want a new story, you must write it. No one else can do it for you. Think about a great book or movie. What makes it unforgettable? Is it a character who has everything easy, who never struggles, never fails? No, it's the one who falls and rises again. The one who refuses to let their setbacks define them. The one who, against all odds, rewrites their fate. Your life is no different. If you have been through, it means you have a powerful story to tell. If you have struggled, it means you have a reason to fight harder. Every great transformation begins with a decision. I will not be defined by what happened to me. I will be defined by what I choose to become. Think of the butterfly. It does not stay a caterpillar forever. It does not say, "This is just who I am." No, it transforms. It becomes something greater. But do you know what happens before that transformation? Darkness, struggle. It locks itself inside a cocoon where everything it once was dissolves. And from that destruction, a new form is born. A new story begins. Your past, your pain, your failures. They are not the end. They are your cocoon. And if you choose, you can break free. People will tell you that you cannot change. They will remind you of your mistakes, your weaknesses, your old self. They will try to keep you in the same story because your transformation threatens their comfort. But here's the truth. Your story is yours, not theirs. You do not need their approval. You do not need their validation. The only thing you need is the courage to turn the page. There was once a man who had failed at everything. Business, relationships, even his own dreams. He sat in the ruins of his life, convinced that he was destined for nothing more than disappointment. Then, one day, he realized something. If I keep telling myself the same story, I will keep living the same life. So, he changed the narrative. He stopped calling himself a failure and started calling himself a learner. He stopped seeing obstacles as the end and started seeing them as lessons. And that single shift in mindset changed everything. Within years, he built the life he once thought was impossible. Not because his past changed, but because his perspective did. You have to ask yourself, what story are you telling yourself? Are you telling yourself that you are broken, that you are unworthy, that success is for other people, not you? Because if you are, then that is the life you will continue to live. Change the story and you change your life. You were not born to live the same chapter over and over again. You were not meant to be stuck in a loop of pain, regret, and self-doubt. There is more waiting for you, but you have to reach for it. You have to take the pen back into your own hands. You have to become the person who looks in the mirror and says, this is not where my story ends. Because the truth is, the most powerful thing about your life is that you get to write it. And the best part, the next chapter is completely up to you. There are two kinds of people in this world. Those who let their emotions control them and those who master their emotions. And let me tell you something. The ones who let their emotions control them are like leaves in the wind, tossed around, never steady, never truly in control of their own lives. But those who master emotional discipline, they are the ones who rise above, who lead, who stand unshaken even in the middle of chaos. If you want to be powerful, if you want to be unbreakable, you must master your emotions before they master you. Imagine a person who reacts to every insult, every disappointment, every minor inconvenience. Someone cuts them off in traffic and they explode in anger. Someone criticizes them and they spiral into self-doubt. Someone ignores them and they feel worthless. These people are slaves to their emotions. Their mood is controlled by the outside world. And when your mood is controlled by the outside world, you are nothing more than a puppet. Your emotions pull the strings and you dance to their tune. Now think of the most powerful people you know. True leaders. Those who command respect when they walk into a room. Do you think they waste their energy reacting to every little thing? No. They understand something that most people don't. Not every action deserves a reaction. Not every insult deserves a response. Not every situation requires your emotions to be invested. The moment you learn to control your emotions instead of letting them control you, you step into a level of power that most people will never reach. Picture yourself in a heated argument. Your heart is racing. Your hands are shaking. And your mind is filled with angry words, just waiting to be unleashed. Now pause. Take a deep breath. Instead of reacting, observe. Ask yourself, is this worth my energy? Is this situation controlling me or am I controlling it? Because the moment you realize that your emotions are just temporary reactions, you gain power over them. A great warrior doesn't swing his sword at every shadow. He waits, he watches, he strikes only when necessary. Your emotions are the same. You don't have to respond to every situation with anger, sadness, or frustration. You don't have to prove yourself to everyone. You don't have to let someone else's words dictate how you feel about yourself. Think about the last time you were hurt by someone's words. Maybe they called you a failure, maybe they dismissed your dreams, maybe they betrayed you. And in that moment, your emotions took over. But let me ask you, did their words change who you are? No. Their words only had power because you gave them power. The moment you master emotional discipline, you take that power back. You understand that someone's opinion of you does not define your reality. You understand that silence is sometimes the most powerful response. Have you ever seen a fire die out on its own? It doesn't happen because someone fought it. It happens because it was deprived of fuel. Emotional discipline is the same. When you stop feeding your emotions with unnecessary reactions, they lose their control over you. When someone tries to provoke you and you remain calm, they lose their power over you. When life throws chaos your way, but you stay grounded, you prove that you are not a victim of circumstances, you are the master of them. Imagine you are in a room full of noise, chaos, distractions. Everyone is shouting, reacting, losing control. And then there's you. Calm, centered, observing. You do not let the noise shake you. You do not let the chaos control you. Because you understand something that others do not. Your emotions are not your enemy, but they are not your master either. They are tools. And when used correctly, they can build an unshakable mind. Think about the most successful people you know. Do you think they reached their position by being emotional wrecks? By reacting to every little thing that happened to them? No. They mastered the art of staying calm in the storm. They understood that emotions are fleeting, but decisions based on wisdom last forever. They knew that when you allow emotions to take over, you make mistakes. You say things you regret. You act out of impulse instead of intelligence. The strongest person in any room is not the loudest. It is not the one who yells, who fights, who overreacts. The strongest person is the one who remains steady, who does not allow the outside world to dictate their inner peace. They are the ones who choose their responses instead of reacting blindly. They are the ones who know that true power lies not in controlling others, but in controlling themselves. You will face situations that test you. People will push your buttons. Life will throw challenges at you. But in those moments, remember this. Power is not in reacting. Power is in choosing. Choosing silence when words will not change anything. Choosing patience when anger would be easier. Choosing wisdom when emotions try to cloud your judgment. That is the mark of someone truly powerful. That is the mark of someone who has mastered emotional discipline. Pain is inevitable. Hurt is inevitable. But suffering, that is a choice. The world will try to break you, people will betray you, circumstances will challenge you, and life will test you in ways you never imagined. But here's the truth. What breaks most people is the very thing that builds the strongest ones. The difference? Some people use their pain as an excuse to give up, while others turn their hurt into fuel. The moment you learn to transform your pain into power, you become unstoppable. Think about fire. Fire has two choices. It can either burn everything to the ground, or it can forge steel into something stronger. Your pain is fire. If you let it consume you, it will destroy you. But if you use it wisely, it will shape you into something greater than before. Every hardship, every betrayal, every heartbreak, it is not here to break you. It is here to refine you. It is life's way of asking you, how strong are you willing to become? Think about the people who have hurt you, the ones who left you in the dark, the ones who doubted you, the ones who made you feel like you were not enough. You have two choices. You can let their words and actions define you, or you can use them as fuel to become someone they never expected. There is nothing more powerful than a person who turns their pain into purpose. Imagine the look on their faces when they see you rise, not in spite of them, but because of them. Do you know why most people stay stuck in their pain? Because they keep asking, why did this happen to me? But the real question is, what am I going to do with it? Will you sit there and let the pain consume you? Will you drown in self-pity? Or will you stand up and say, this will not be my story. I will turn this into something greater. Pain is not meant to break you. It is meant to awaken something inside you that nothing else could. Think of a champion fighter. They don't train with comfort, they train with pain. They push themselves to the edge, they endure exhaustion, they take the hits, they feel the burn in their muscles, and that is why they win. Their pain becomes their strength. Life is no different. The pain you feel now is building a version of you that is stronger, wiser, and more powerful than ever before. You must understand, the world does not reward victims. It rewards warriors. And warriors are not made in comfort. They are forged in fire. Every great success story has pain behind it. The athlete who was once told they weren't good enough. The entrepreneur who lost everything before they built their empire. The woman who was abandoned but rose to become unstoppable. They didn't let their pain destroy them. They used it as the driving force to become legends. Remember this, your pain is not proof of your weakness, it is proof of your strength. Weak people run from pain. Strong people face it head on and say, watch me turn this into something extraordinary. You want revenge on the ones who doubted you? Don't waste your time trying to prove them wrong with words. Let your success be the loudest response. Let your growth be the ultimate proof that their actions did not break you, but built you. Think about a diamond. Do you know how it's made? It is formed under extreme pressure and heat. Without pressure, without intensity, it remains just a piece of coal. But because it endured, because it faced the fire, it became something valuable, something indestructible. Your pain is your pressure. Your struggles are your fire. But if you endure, if you refuse to break, you will emerge stronger, sharper, and more valuable than ever before. You must decide, will you let your pain be the reason you stop, or will you let it be the reason you go harder than ever before? The choice is yours. You cannot change the past. You cannot erase what happened, but you can choose what to do with it. Let the pain remind you of your worth. Let it push you beyond your limits. Let it fuel you to become someone so powerful that no amount of hurt can ever shake you again. There is no strength without struggle, no growth without challenge, no victory without battle. You were not meant to stay broken, you were meant to rise. The fire inside you is far greater than the storm around you. And once you learn to use your hurt as fuel, there will be nothing that can stop you. Forgiveness is not weakness. It is the ultimate power. The ability to release the weight of anger, betrayal, and resentment is not about letting the other person walk free. It is about setting yourself free. But here's where most people get it wrong. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting. It does not mean allowing the same wound to be inflicted again and again. It means learning, evolving, and rising above while never letting history repeat itself. People will hurt you. Some will lie to you, some will betray you, some will leave when you need them the most. And when this happens, the first instinct is to hold on to the pain, to seek revenge, to replay the betrayal in your mind over and over again. But here's the truth. Holding on to that pain does not punish them. It punishes you. It is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. Think of a great warrior. A warrior does not waste their energy on battles that do not serve them. They choose their fights wisely. Forgiveness is the warrior's way of saying, I will not let your darkness consume my light. It is not about being naive. It is about being wise. It is about looking at what happened, understanding the lesson, and then moving forward with a heart that is strong, not heavy. Some people will tell you to forgive and forget, but that is not true wisdom. Forgetting means erasing the lesson. And if you erase the lesson, you are bound to make the same mistake again. When someone betrays you, do not erase the memory. Keep it as a lesson, keep it as a reminder, but do not carry the pain of it in your heart. Pain turns into poison when it is held onto for too long. Imagine you are carrying a heavy stone in your hands. This stone represents your anger, your resentment, your pain. Now imagine walking with it every single day, everywhere you go. The weight of it slows you down, it drains your energy. It keeps you from reaching your full potential. But the moment you decide to drop it, you feel lighter, you feel free. This is what true forgiveness does. It releases the weight, but it does not erase the memory of why you picked up the stone in the first place. You might ask, why should I forgive someone who doesn't even deserve it? The answer is simple, because you deserve peace. Forgiveness is not a favor to them. It is a gift to yourself. It is choosing to move forward without allowing someone else's actions to hold you hostage. But here's the catch. You do not have to let them back into your life. You do not have to trust them again. You do not have to give them another chance to hurt you. You simply choose to release the anger so it no longer controls you. Think about fire. If someone burns you once, you do not put your hand back into the flames. But you also do not spend your life fearing fire. Instead, you learn how to use it wisely. That is what true forgiveness is. It is wisdom. It is power. It is saying, I see what you did. I acknowledge the pain, but I will not allow it to define me. Some of the strongest people in history have faced betrayals that could have destroyed them, but they refused to let it consume them. They used it as fuel to become unstoppable. They did not let anger and revenge control their story. Instead, they mastered the art of forgiveness without forgetting. They turned their wounds into wisdom, their pain into power. You see, when you hold on to resentment, you're still chained to the past. You're still connected to the person who hurt you. But when you forgive, you break the chain. You take back control. And when you do this, something incredible happens. The person who hurt you no longer has power over you. They no longer take up space in your mind. They no longer control your emotions. You reclaim your freedom. Forgiveness does not mean weakness. It does not mean accepting mistreatment. It does not mean lowering your standards. It means rising above. It means saying, I refuse to let this pain define me. It means learning from the past, guarding your heart, and walking forward with strength. The past is a lesson, not a prison. You do not erase the pain, but you do not let it consume you either. Imagine a person walking with a bag full of stones, each one representing a grudge, a betrayal, an old wound. With every step, they grow more exhausted, the weight becomes unbearable. But the moment they decide to let go, to drop the bag, they feel lighter. They move faster. They regain their strength. This is what happens when you forgive. You drop the weight, but you keep the wisdom. This is the ultimate power, to release without erasing, to move forward without being blind, to heal without forgetting the lesson, to forgive without forgetting. There is a difference between making noise and making an impact. The world is filled with people who shout, who argue, who try to prove their worth by being the loudest in the room. But true power, real influence, does not come from raising your voice. It comes from raising your value. When you become a person of value, you do not have to demand respect. You command it. Think about the most powerful people in history. They did not waste their breath arguing with small minds. They did not scream for attention. They built their worth so high that the world had no choice but to listen. A lion does not have to prove that it is a lion. It simply walks, and the jungle takes notice. When you focus on becoming someone of depth, of wisdom, of strength, your presence speaks louder than any words ever could. In life, you will meet people who provoke you. They will insult you, challenge you, try to drag you into meaningless battles. But here's the truth. When you argue with a fool from a distance, no one can tell the difference. Instead of engaging in every fight, step back and ask yourself, is this worth my energy? Will this add to my life or drain me? Most of the time, the answer is clear. You do not need to respond to everything. Not every insult needs a reaction. Not every challenge deserves your attention. There is a story of a great master who was once insulted in front of a large crowd. His disciple expected him to react, to defend himself. But instead, the master smiled and remained silent. Later, the disciple asked, "Why did you not respond?" The master said, "If someone offers you a gift, but you do not accept it, who does it belong to?" The disciple replied, "To the one who offered it." The master nodded and said, "The same is true for anger, insults, and hatred. If you do not accept them, they do not belong to you." This is wisdom. This is power. The ability to stay composed when others expect you to explode. The ability to stay silent when people expect a reaction. The ability to show your strength not through aggression, but through restraint. In relationships, in work, in everyday life, you will encounter situations where people will try to provoke you. A rude comment, a disrespectful action, a betrayal. And in those moments, you will feel the urge to retaliate, to prove yourself, to fight back. But ask yourself, what do I gain from this? Will this fight elevate me, or will it only drain my energy? A true king or queen does not get off their throne to chase every barking dog. They stay seated in their power. If someone underestimates you, let them. If someone disrespects you, let your success be your answer. If someone tries to belittle you, let your actions speak so loudly that their words become irrelevant. The greatest revenge is not anger, it is elevation. It is proving to yourself, not to them, that you are beyond their level. Look at the most successful people in the world. They do not argue with critics. They do not waste their time proving their worth to those who refuse to see it. They invest their energy in growth, in progress, in becoming the best version of themselves. When you do this, you become untouchable. No insult can shake you. No negativity can bring you down. You rise above, not by fighting, but by evolving. Every second you waste in anger is a second you could have spent building yourself. Every moment spent in arguments is a moment that could have been used to improve, to learn, to create. Your energy is your currency. Spend it wisely. Do not invest in battles that do not serve you. Think about a diamond. It does not argue with those who cannot see its worth. It does not lower itself to prove its value. It simply shines. And those who recognize its brilliance are drawn to it. Be like the diamond. Work on yourself so much, grow so deeply that your worth becomes undeniable. Then you will never need to raise your voice. Your value will do all the talking. There is a silent power in walking away, a power that many do not understand. People think strength is about endurance, how long you can fight, how much you can take, how deeply you can hold on. But the highest form of strength is knowing when to let go. When something no longer serves you, when a situation is draining your soul instead of uplifting it. The most powerful thing you can do is walk away with your head held high. Think about this. Have you ever seen a river try to flow backward? Have you ever seen the sun beg to shine on a place that refuses to receive its light? No. Because nature understands something most people don't. What is meant to flow forward will never force itself to stay where it does not belong. And yet humans do the opposite. We hold on. We stay in relationships that break us. We fight for people who do not fight for us. We stay in jobs that suffocate our spirit. Why? Because we fear the unknown. Because we believe that letting go is losing. But in reality, walking away is not a loss. It is a win for your soul. Imagine this, you are holding on to a rope. At first it feels like security, like stability. But then the rope starts burning your hands. It starts cutting into your skin. It starts hurting you. And yet you refuse to let go. You tell yourself, maybe if I hold on a little longer, the pain will stop. But does it? No, it only gets worse. Until one day, your hands are bleeding, your strength is gone, and you are forced to let go. Now, what if you had let go earlier? What if instead of enduring pain that was never meant for you, you had released the rope and freed yourself? Life is like that. Some people, some situations, some places, they are the burning rope. And you must have the wisdom to know when to loosen your grip. Staying in a place that no longer nurtures your growth is like trying to breathe in a room with no oxygen. You can try to endure it, but eventually you will suffocate. People often say, but I have invested so much time, so many years, so much love, how can I walk away now? The answer is simple. Because what you have already invested should not determine your future suffering. If you are in a toxic relationship, if you are in a job that kills your dreams, if you are surrounded by people who drain you instead of uplift you, ask yourself, what am I really holding on to? Is it love or is it fear? Is it stability or is it an illusion? Because true love does not make you beg. True purpose does not make you suffer. True belonging does not require you to shrink yourself. There is a reason why doors close. There is a reason why certain paths become dark. The universe, life, whatever you believe in, it is always showing you when it is time to move on. But the question is, will you listen? Or will you keep knocking on doors that have already locked themselves? Think of a queen. She does not sit at a table where she is not respected. She does not beg for a seat among people who do not see her worth. She does not stay where she is tolerated instead of celebrated, and neither should you. When you walk away from what no longer serves you, you do not lose. You make space for something greater. Imagine a person begging someone to stay, pleading, crying, holding on to someone who clearly does not want to be there. What does that do? It destroys self-respect. It lowers your worth. But now imagine someone who, when disrespected, simply stands up and leaves. No drama, no shouting, just quiet, graceful exit. That is power, that is dignity, that is strength. You must teach people how to treat you by what you allow. If you allow disrespect, they will continue to disrespect you. If you allow pain, they will keep hurting you. If you stay where you are unappreciated, they will take you for granted. But the moment you walk away, the moment you show that you value yourself too much to stay where you are not valued, that is the moment they realize your worth. There are people who will only respect you once they see they can no longer have access to you. There are situations that will only become clear once you have distanced yourself from them. Sometimes the best way to teach someone a lesson is not by fighting, not by explaining, but by leaving. Let them feel your absence. Let them realize that you were not just another option, but a privilege they lost. Do not waste years trying to fix what is already broken. Do not waste your energy trying to convince people to see your worth. Those who truly see you, those who truly value you, will never put you in a position where you have to question your place in their life. If someone does not appreciate you, leave with grace. If a situation no longer brings you joy, walk away with wisdom. If you feel like you are forcing yourself to stay, take a step back and ask, why? The moment you learn to walk away, the moment you choose yourself over unnecessary suffering, that is the moment you set yourself free. Life is a constant storm. One moment the sun is shining and everything feels perfect. The next moment dark clouds roll in and chaos erupts. People betray you, circumstances change, and emotions rise like wild waves. But the secret to true power is not in controlling the storm. It is in learning how to stand still in the middle of it. Most people are like a candle in the wind. Every small gust of negativity, every harsh word, every unexpected difficulty shakes them, breaks them, extinguishes their inner light. But the ones who truly master life, the ones who move through this world with unshakable strength, are those who have built a fire within that no storm can put out. They do not seek balance from the outside world. They create it within themselves. Imagine this. Two people are walking through the same storm. One is panicking, running, trying to escape, screaming at the sky for being unfair. The other stands firm, calm, accepting that the storm is here, but knowing that it too shall pass. The storm does not make the second person suffer because he does not fight it. He lets it be, and in that stillness, he finds his peace. Which one are you? Look at your life. How many times have you let external situations control your emotions? Someone disrespects you and suddenly your whole mood changes. A small inconvenience happens and your entire day is ruined. Why? Because you are seeking balance from things that were never meant to give it to you. You are letting the outside world dictate your inner peace. That is like trying to stand steady on a ship during a storm. Impossible. You must understand this. No one, nothing outside of you will ever give you lasting peace. Not money, not love, not success. Because all these things can change in an instant. One moment you have them, the next moment they are gone. If your happiness depends on them, then your happiness will always be temporary. But if your peace comes from within, then no matter what happens outside, you will remain untouched. Think of a mountain. It does not move for the wind. It does not shake for the storm. It stands solid, grounded, unshaken. That is how you must be. You must become so deeply rooted in your own self-awareness, in your own strength, that no insult, no betrayal, no hardship can uproot you. People will try to provoke you. Life will throw unexpected challenges at you. But you must learn to master your reactions. Not every battle is worth fighting. Not every insult needs a response. Not every storm deserves your fear. When you learn to choose silence over reaction, when you learn to observe rather than engage, you become untouchable. Look at the most powerful people in history. Did they waste their energy reacting to every small problem? Did they allow petty opinions to disturb their inner world? No. Because they understood that energy is precious. They understood that true strength is not in fighting every battle. It is in knowing which battles are beneath them. A person who has mastered inner balance walks into a room and you can feel their presence. They do not need to prove themselves. They do not need to shout to be heard. Their peace speaks louder than words. They do not get easily offended because they know their worth. They do not get easily disturbed because they have trained their mind to remain still. How do you reach this level? You must practice stillness every day. Take a moment to sit in silence, to observe your thoughts without reacting to them. Watch how your mind jumps from one worry to another, from one frustration to the next. And instead of getting lost in these thoughts, just watch them like clouds passing in the sky. This is how you train your mind to stop reacting to every storm. You must also learn the power of detachment. Do not hold on too tightly to people, outcomes, or expectations. Love deeply, but do not depend on anything outside yourself for happiness. When you release the need for external validation, when you stop expecting life to go exactly as you planned, you will find peace. Understand this. Your true enemy is not the world outside, but the chaos inside your own mind. If you do not master it, you will always be a slave to external circumstances. But if you learn to control your thoughts, to remain calm in every situation, then nothing will ever have power over you. When someone insults you, let them. Their words do not define you. When things do not go your way, accept it. Resistance only creates suffering. When you feel overwhelmed, step back, breathe, and remind yourself, you are not the storm. You are the sky watching it. The storm will pass, but you will remain. People who have not found inner balance will call you cold, emotionless. They will say, why don't you react? Why don't you fight back? But let them talk. They do not understand the level of power you have reached. When you no longer react to petty things, when you no longer waste energy on meaningless battles, that is when you have truly won. Life will test you, people will push you, the world will try to shake you, but you must stand tall, unshaken, untouchable. You must be like the ocean, deep, powerful, and calm, no matter how many stones are thrown into you. You must be like fire, silent yet capable of burning down anything that tries to destroy you. You must be like the sky, vast, limitless, never disturbed by the passing clouds. No one can break you unless you give them permission. No situation can steal your peace unless you surrender it. The greatest power in this world is not in controlling others, but in mastering yourself. The moment you realize that your peace, your happiness, and your strength come from within, you become unstoppable. Most people react, they scream when insulted, they fight when challenged, they panic when things don't go their way. But the truly powerful ones, they observe, they smile, they walk away. Because they understand one thing, energy is priceless, and they will not waste it on things that do not deserve it. Silence is not weakness, it is strategy. Walking away is not losing, it is wisdom. Controlling your emotions is not suppression, it is mastery. The strongest people in this world are not the ones who fight every battle, but the ones who choose their battles wisely. When you stop reacting to every little thing, you gain control over everything. You will see people trying to provoke you and you will smile because you know their anger is their burden, not yours. You will watch people try to bring you down and you will rise even higher because their negativity is their prison, not yours. You will face setbacks, but you will keep moving forward because you understand that failure is only a detour, not a dead end. People will wonder how you remain so unshaken. They will call you mysterious. They will say you have changed. Let them. You are not here to explain your growth to those who refuse to grow. You are not here to prove your worth to those who cannot see it. You are here to become the best version of yourself, and that requires leaving behind anything and anyone that threatens your peace. Look at the legends, the game changers, the ones who rewrote history. They were never easily shaken. They did not waste time arguing with fools. They did not let the noise of the world distract them from their purpose. They moved with quiet confidence, with an unbreakable focus, with an energy so powerful that even their silence spoke louder than words. That is how you must be. Your life is your battlefield and your mind is your weapon. Train it, discipline it, master it. Do not let temporary emotions create permanent damage. Do not let fleeting anger make lifelong mistakes. A lion does not turn every time a dog barks. A mountain does not bow down to the wind. And you are stronger than you think. You are greater than your struggles. You are above the petty games of this world. If they insult you, let them. Their actions define them, not you. The moment you realize that your value does not decrease based on someone's inability to see it, you will never be hurt again. The moment you stop seeking validation from the outside world, you will be free. And when they ask you why you don't react like before, why you don't entertain drama, why you don't waste energy on useless battles, smile and say, because I have mastered something you haven't. Inner balance.